Two of history's greatest spiritual teachers, born 500 years apart, shared profound wisdom that could transform our modern world. What did they truly agree on? Both Buddha and Jesus taught that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of a compassionate heart and peaceful mind. They both emphasized that loving kindness and forgiveness are not signs of weakness, but the ultimate expression of true inner strength. Both masters taught meditation and prayer as paths to inner peace, finding sanctuary in the quiet spaces between thoughts where divine wisdom resides. They shared a profound understanding that suffering comes from attachment and desire, while liberation flows from letting go and serving others. Both taught that true happiness comes not from changing the world outside, but from transforming the landscape of our inner world. They emphasized the power of now, that present moment awareness is the gateway to experiencing divine truth and lasting peace. Both masters saw beyond religious boundaries, teaching that love, wisdom, and compassion are the universal language of the awakened heart. In our divided world, their shared wisdom offers a bridge showing that at the heart of all great spiritual traditions lies the same eternal truth. Perhaps it's time we looked beyond the differences to the profound wisdom these great teachers shared and begin our own journey of inner transformation. What if I told you that 2,500 years ago, two profound paths of wisdom, one in the East, one in the West, discovered the same eternal truths about love and compassion? Both the Buddha and Jesus taught that true happiness comes not from wealth or power, but from cultivating boundless compassion for all beings. When Jesus said, "Love your enemies," he echoed the Buddha's teaching that hatred cannot be overcome by hatred. Only by love can hatred be conquered. Both masters taught the golden rule to treat others as we wish to be treated. The Buddha called it universal loving kindness. Jesus named it the greatest commandment. They both understood that attachment to material wealth creates suffering. Store up treasures in heaven, taught Jesus. Find freedom from craving, counseled the Buddha. Both taught that true peace comes from within. The kingdom of heaven is within you, said Jesus. Look within, you are the Buddha, taught the enlightened one. They shared the understanding that this moment right now is sacred. Be here now, taught the Buddha. Consider the lilies of the field, counseled Jesus. Both understood that we are all interconnected. We are members of one body, taught Jesus. All beings are connected, revealed the Buddha. They taught that true strength lies in gentleness. Blessed are the meek, said Jesus. Gentleness overcomes anger, taught the Buddha. Perhaps these two great rivers of wisdom flow from the same sacred mountain, teaching us that love, compassion, and inner peace are the true path to awakening. What's truly remarkable is how both Buddha and Jesus taught the same profound truth about attachment to material wealth. Buddha said attachment leads to suffering. Jesus taught it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. Both masters emphasized that true wealth lies not in what we possess, but in how we live with compassion and wisdom. Their teachings on forgiveness mirror each other perfectly. Buddha taught mindful acceptance, while Jesus preached loving forgiveness of enemies. Both understood that holding on to anger only poisons our own heart, while forgiveness sets us free from the chains of hatred. Their messages about inner peace align, perfectly, finding stillness within ourselves before seeking to change the world outside. Both taught that real transformation begins in the heart, through meditation and prayer, through stillness and deep reflection. They showed us that compassion isn't just a feeling, it's active love that reaches out to all beings, without distinction or judgment. Both masters taught that true wisdom comes not from books or rituals, but from direct experience of love and truth in our hearts. When we look deeply, we see that these great teachers were pointing to the same eternal truth, the path of love, wisdom, and inner peace. Two great lights arose in our world, one in ancient India, another in Bethlehem. Though separated by time and space, their wisdom converged in profound ways. Both taught that attachment to material wealth creates suffering. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, echoes Buddha's warnings of desire's chains. They shared the teaching of radical compassion. Buddha's infinite loving kindness mirrors Jesus' command to love even our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. Both emphasized the power of forgiveness. Buddha taught that hatred cannot dispel hatred, only love can. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them even from the cross." They taught the illusion of separateness. Buddha's teachings on non-duality parallel Jesus' words. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Both emphasize the present moment. Buddha's mindfulness teachings echo Jesus' words, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." They taught transformation through suffering. Buddha's noble truths parallel Jesus' teaching that through death comes resurrection, through loss comes finding. These parallels reveal a deeper truth that wisdom, when pure, flows from the same eternal source like different rivers leading to the same ocean. When we look beyond labels and forms, we find the same invitation to awaken to love's presence, to serve with compassion, to realize our unity. In their deepest essence, both masters pointed to the same timeless truth that love is the path, and awakening is our shared destiny. Two of history's greatest spiritual teachers, though separated by 500 years and thousands of miles, shared profound insights about what truly matters in life. Both Buddha and Jesus taught that compassion, genuine care for others' well-being, is the highest expression of spiritual truth. They understood that attachment to material wealth and status creates suffering. True peace comes from letting go and serving others. Both masters emphasized the power of forgiveness, not just for others, but as a path to free our own hearts from the prison of resentment. They taught that real transformation happens within through quiet contemplation, honest self-reflection, and opening our hearts to wisdom. Both recognized that judgmental thoughts and harsh words create barriers between people. Kindness and understanding build bridges. They understood that fear drives conflict and division. Love and wisdom reveal our essential unity and interconnection. Both taught that true happiness comes not from getting what we want, but from cultivating peace, wisdom, and compassion within. These timeless teachings transcend religious boundaries. They point to universal truths about our shared human journey. By embracing these common insights with an open heart, we discover that different paths can lead to the same summit of understanding. Two great teachers, born 500 years apart, shared one profound truth that could transform your understanding of life's deepest meaning. Both Buddha and Jesus taught that compassion isn't just an emotion, it's the very key to unlocking our highest human potential. When Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself," and Buddha taught hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone, they were revealing the same eternal wisdom. Both masters understood that true peace comes not from external circumstances, but from transforming our inner landscape of thoughts and emotions. They taught that attachment to material wealth creates suffering, while generosity and service to others leads to lasting joy. Both emphasized the power of silence and solitude. Jesus praying in the desert for 40 days, Buddha meditating under the Bodhi tree. They knew that forgiveness isn't just a gift we give others, it's the key to freeing our own hearts from the prison of resentment. Both taught that every human being has inherent worth and dignity, whether they called it Buddha nature or being made in God's image. They understood that true spiritual practice isn't about escaping the world, but about fully engaging with life from a place of wisdom and love. Perhaps the greatest wisdom they shared was this: the path to enlightenment and the kingdom of heaven both begin with opening our hearts to universal love. What if I told you that 2,500 years ago, two of history's greatest teachers, though separated by time and space, shared profound wisdom that was almost identical? Both the Buddha and Jesus taught that compassion is the highest form of love, a love that seeks to end the suffering of all beings. When Jesus said, "Love your enemies," the Buddha's words echoed across time. Hatred cannot be ceased by hatred. Hatred can only be ceased by love. Both masters taught that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of a peaceful heart, and a compassionate mind. They understood that silence is sacred. Jesus went to the desert to pray, while the Buddha found enlightenment in deep meditation under the Bodhi tree. Both created communities of practice, the Sangha and the Church, understanding that spiritual growth flourishes in supportive fellowship. They taught that transformation begins within, that to change the world, we must first transform our own hearts through love and wisdom. Both emphasized selfless service. The Buddha's path of liberation for all beings mirrors Jesus' washing of his disciples' feet. These teachings transcend time, culture, and religion, revealing a universal truth that love and wisdom are the path to genuine happiness. Perhaps it's time we looked beyond differences to embrace these timeless teachings that can heal our world today. Two great teachers, born 500 years apart, spoke truths so similar that they could have been walking the same sacred path. Their wisdom, love is the ultimate force of transformation. Both taught that compassion heals all wounds. Buddha's Metta and Jesus' Agape, love, different words for the same divine understanding that love transforms suffering. Both saw that material wealth alone cannot fulfill the human heart. Store your treasures in heaven, Jesus taught. Attachment leads to suffering, Buddha revealed. Their teachings on forgiveness mirror each other perfectly. Hatred cannot drive out hatred, Buddha taught. Love your enemies, Jesus proclaimed. Both understood that inner transformation comes before outer change. First, remove the beam from your own eye, parallels Buddha's teaching of inner mindfulness. They taught that true peace comes from letting go. Consider the lilies of the field, Jesus said. Buddha spoke of non-attachment to outcomes. Both emphasized the present moment. Do not worry about tomorrow, aligns perfectly with Buddha's teaching of mindful presence in the now. Their paths to enlightenment share the same foundation: silence, solitude, and deep contemplation of life's greatest truths. Both taught that the kingdom of heaven or the pure land exists within our own hearts. The divine is not distant, but present in each breath. Perhaps they were like two lamps, illuminating different parts of the same eternal truth, that love and wisdom are the twin wings that lift humanity toward the divine. What if I told you that 2,500 years ago, two of history's greatest teachers, those separated by time and space, shared profound wisdom that was remarkably similar? Both the Buddha and Jesus taught one fundamental truth, that love and compassion are the path to liberation from suffering. When Buddha spoke of Metta, universal loving kindness, it mirrored Jesus' teaching to love thy neighbor as thyself. Both saw love as the force that transforms consciousness. Both taught the power of forgiveness. Buddha's words, hatred never ceases by hatred, echo Jesus' teaching to turn the other cheek, breaking cycles of violence with compassion. They shared a vision of inner transformation. Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path and Jesus' Sermon on the Mount both guide us from ignorance to wisdom, from darkness to light. Both taught that true wealth lies not in material possessions. Store your treasures in heaven, Jesus said, while Buddha taught detachment from worldly desires. Their methods of meditation and prayer share a common essence, entering sacred silence to find truth within. Both taught that kingdom of heaven lies in our hearts. These parallels remind us that at the heart of all great spiritual teachings lies one truth, that love, wisdom, and compassion are the path to awakening. In our divided world, their shared wisdom offers hope, showing that beneath surface differences, all paths of love lead to the same summit of understanding. Perhaps it's time we looked beyond labels to the eternal wisdom they shared and begin our own journey of transformation through universal love. Two of history's greatest spiritual teachers, born 500 years apart, shared profound insights about love, compassion, and human suffering that could transform our world today. Both the Buddha and Jesus taught that unconditional love, not wealth, power, or status, is the true path to lasting peace and inner transformation. They shared a radical message that suffering comes from attachment to material desires, and that true freedom requires letting go of our ego's endless wants. When Jesus said, "Love your enemies," he echoed the Buddha's teaching that hatred cannot be conquered by hatred, only by love and understanding. Both masters taught mindfulness of thoughts and actions, Jesus through parables of the heart, Buddha through meditation and conscious breathing. They showed that true strength lies in compassion, not in dominating others, but in understanding their suffering and offering kindness without conditions. Both taught that we are all interconnected, that hurting others ultimately hurts ourselves, and that helping others is the path to true happiness. They agreed that inner transformation comes through daily practice, not just belief or ritual, but moment-to-moment awareness and conscious choice. In our divided world, their shared wisdom offers a path forward, showing that beneath different words and symbols lies one universal truth of love. Today, we can honor both teachers by practicing what they shared: mindful presence, unconditional love, and compassion for all beings. Two great teachers, separated by 500 years and thousands of miles, shared one profound insight that could transform your understanding of true happiness. Both taught that attachment to material wealth creates suffering. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, echoes Buddha's teachings on letting go. Compassion stood at the heart of both messages. Love your neighbor as yourself mirrors the Buddhist practice of Metta, universal loving kindness. Both understood that true peace comes from within. The kingdom of heaven within parallels the Buddha's discovery of inner enlightenment. They taught forgiveness as the path to freedom. Releasing others from blame liberates our own heart from the prison of resentment. Both saw how judgment of others reflects our own inner struggles. The splinter in another's eye mirrors our own beam of wood. They recognized that words alone cannot contain ultimate truth. The finger pointing to the moon is not the moon itself. Both taught that genuine spiritual practice transforms daily life. True wisdom manifests in how we treat each other moment by moment. They showed that real strength lies in gentleness. The mighty tree bends in the wind, while the rigid branch breaks. In their deepest teachings, both pointed to one truth: love, wisdom, and compassion are the path to lasting peace. In a world divided by beliefs, what if two of history's greatest spiritual teachers agreed more than we realized? Both Buddha and Jesus taught the power of compassion and love as pathways to enlightenment and salvation. In embracing their shared wisdom, we find a path to inner peace and universal harmony.